Hi everyone. My life's a bit of a mess, but it always is. That's life, and on it goes. Today I'm going to explain what these circles are that we see on the ground across our planet, the role the sun plays, and how it reverses Down syndrome and disease. To begin, if you live in the same location for too long, don't fortify your diet with a lot of vitamin D from a food source, and don't prioritize the sun for at least 30 minutes a day, disease and Down syndrome will remain. Those three things, vitamin D from a food source, prioritizing the sun every day, and location, are all necessary to reverse Down syndrome. You cannot get away with just one, they all matter. Um, Earthworks. Stonehenge Barrows is one of my favorite earthworks in the world, and it stumped me until a few weeks ago. But it's also simple. The sun draws perfect paths on our Earth. We need to live within those paths for the limited amount of time those paths are there. If the path moves, we need to move our settlement into those paths if we want to live in the ideal location for the sun. Our ancestors knew this. That is why they have these advanced networks everywhere, because they knew we couldn't live in the same place. If we did, we would get bad sun and health issues like Down syndrome. They worked hard to make these circles for us because we need to move and live within them. We need to path circles just like our ancestors and live within those circles in order to maximize our sun absorption. If you do your part in climate change, we can make the paths that we live in bigger. Right now, they keep getting smaller. The more ice that melts from the glacier, the less sun reflected to other parts of the earth that need it more. I'm not the best artist, but I did try to explain it on this board up here. So up here, you got Down syndrome reversal. So you got number one, food. You must get vitamin D from a food source, preferably D3. Two, the sun. You must get 30 minutes to an hour every day. Three, location. You can't live in the same location. Our ancestors worked hard and knew this. Civilizations were massive because they moved where sun was ideal. And again, I mean, I'm not the best drawer of things, but I'm trying to paint it simple so you guys understand. So look at this diagram right here that I got right here. This is our Earth, and these are totality lines going around the Earth, right? This is the North and the South Pole. See how thick these lines are? That's the totality lines. Those are the trails that it leaves around the globe. They're very thick right now. Because we're melting the glaciers, that's where the sun goes. It zeroes in on these heavy dark spots at the North and South Poles. It essentially steals our sun. These are our lines. Look at how thin they are. That's the lines that we need to live in order to get our sun. They're very small. So if we didn't melt the glaciers, this is what it'd be like, kind of like over here. See over here how it's uneven? You know, the lines are very thin, and then the lines of the North and South Pole are big, but they're wider. Over here, if we didn't melt the glaciers, they'd be more even. A more evened ratio of totality line around the planet. This is why the sun is not equal everywhere. It's just straight up not. Right here, again, another diagram. This is just land anywhere, you know, and these are just circles, and they move around, you know, different parts of the land around the world. We're supposed to be moving ideally within these circles to the ideal spots where that totality is, so that we absorb the sun the best. This is us, and I hope that we could be this right here. You know, that's ideal. But you know, like I said, the sun zeroes in at those dark spots. See, it zeroes in there. It's not coming as much to right here. If the sun was more even right here, it'd be a more even ratio of sun throughout the world. No, the first thing is food. So humans on Earth are not getting the proper amount of vitamin D from food. Most humans assume they just need sun, not food. It's just vitamin D. It's the sunshine vitamin, they say, right? But that logic is crippling people. You need vitamin D from food so that your body can absorb the sun. If you don't get enough from your diet, the sun doesn't just absorb the sun the same way as if you didn't. Supplement D3, and the time you need in the sun gets reduced significantly. My skin was tanning fully on like 25,000 IU's D3 a day, and I wasn't even in the sun. I was just driving around my car on a sunny day. Vitamin D food source affects the way you absorb the sun. If you think you can just lay in the sun and not fortify, that will work because you are getting sun, and that's great, but you will have to stay out there longer. The D3 also helps to tan parts of your body that don't get as much sun. Because you are ingesting the food source into your body, which can reach places of your body through your food in your body that the sun can't. Like if you got a pair of shorts on, or whatever, it's hard for the sun to get in there. But when you take it in through your body, it flows throughout your whole body. It's very beneficial for your bones and your skeleton. People are not fully understanding the importance of vitamin D and the importance on the bones structure and the skeleton and what it does. It's important for stimulating red and white blood cells in the blood as well. But anyways, I'll get sidetracked. Second is the sun. One day inside not getting sun is too long. We as humans aren't supposed to get sunlight every day. Your Down syndrome and your vitamin D access will absolutely go down if you don't get in the sun every day. There's absolutely nothing in the world more important to people with Down syndrome than the sun. I know this won't sound right when I say it, but I need you guys to understand something about how our bodies work. Do you know how some people, they have like the eye issues and it seems like their eyes, they kind of like roll up into their head? We need to look at this from a different perspective. I believe their eyes can tell us something. They're slowly moving up into their head. Why? And I believe that they are following the sun. Their eyes and body are talking to them, begging them for the sun they need. Their eyes will essentially drag them to the sun and their ideal access zone. This is also the reason I believe people go crazy. They are walking around talking to themselves. These people are severely vitamin D deficient and they need to be supplemented with D3 and move to an access zone where they get ideal sun. And you will see a change in behavior, I believe. These people are walking around aimlessly, but they are really seeking the sun. They are crazy because they are living in the wrong zone with insufficient sun for most of their life. Third is location. If you notice the totality trails that are left behind on solar eclipse day, the sun is painting a perfect path for anyone with or without Down syndrome to live in. Those trails get smaller and smaller and they change, but you need to be absorbing the sun in those locations for the sun to actually have the correct effect. If you are in a location where there is no totality trail and far from it, that means you are living in a location where the sun is not hitting your location well. Your part of Earth is getting far less sun because the ocean is robbing you of your sun, more than likely. If you live in the United States or Michigan like me, then your main source to blame for a lack of sun absorption is the Greenland ice sheet. When that glacier melts, the water gets warmer and darker, and the sun will shine more on that part of Earth. So if the sun is shining on our state of Michigan, the sun is zooming in on the water by the Greenland ice sheet, just like a magnifying glass and sunlight would in some sense. The sun is focusing and dialing in on the deep, dark ocean. If that sheet wasn't melting like it is, the glacier would still be there. The glacier would then reflect the sun back at the sun, would reflect the sun back at the sun, which the sun is then bouncing back to Earth and shining in other spots. Those spots aren't getting the sun absorption they need because the sun doesn't want to focus on those spots. If you live within the totality lines as a way of existing in life, You will maximize your sun absorption. Team that up with D3 and prioritize getting the sun for 1 hour a day, and the Down syndrome will reverse. The glaciers are the cause for COVID too. That's for another video, but a short explanation. There is no disease or COVID, and it sure doesn't spread from as far as Wuhan. The source of COVID in Wuhan was and mind my mispronunciation, or the Yinsu-Gadi Glacier melting. The glacier melts and the wind circulates to Wuhan. If you look at like wind circulating in that area, look at the wind paths that go from that glacier to Wuhan. I mean, it's like putting a puzzle together. I mean, all of the wind circulates directly to Wuhan. I mean, it's I don't know how you could find another source for what you call COVID. The wind patterns from the glacier go straight to Wuhan perfectly. The glacier melts and the wind circulates there. The glacier wind tests their access there in Wuhan. It gets them sick, and that is what we call disease. The wind. In Michigan, the wind from the Greenland ice sheet is what we call COVID, or, whatever name you want to call it. COVID is just the glacial wind testing you. If you think you can go into your heated office in winter and you are safe, the bad wind circulates more inside than outside. You get sicker the more you are inside. You don't get as sick when you eat vegan, prioritize the sun, and supplement with D3, which is why vegans don't get as sick. Nature protects nature. If you don't eat nature, your body probably isn't ready to fight it either. Your gut and health protect you from glacial wind. Let's reverse Down syndrome, cancer, disease, whatever name you want to call this stuff. This is the formula. Did you reach out to somebody today? Make the text, make the call, be your best self. Don't let anybody guide your life today but yourself, or just in general. Did you take your D3 today? I think I'm going to go lay in the sun. Take care. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe.